Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and this questionable thing is the BROPPE, well, they call it kind of a precision screwdriver. I don't think it actually is very precise, but it is interesting. What we've got are these two joints on this shaft that allow this to take several different positions. So you can use it kind of like a cranking handle, several different positions. Obviously it's squeaking. You can use it as a kind of a T or a 90-degree handle. Anyway, this part here spins. It's pretty heavy metal. This part spins and does have a bit of retention. I can see right inside there's a little bit of movement. I'll get into that in a second. It's got a ball detent with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions across here. It's mostly kind of a heavy, kind of a dense metal with these plastic spinning parts here. And this is metal down here, and it also spins. It's reminiscent of these Klein screwdrivers. I actually love these things. They're designed so well, and it has to do with this angle. It's actually not, if you look at this, you see how this hits down, or if I hold two of them, let me do these two together, it kind of shows up that they tilt towards each other. See that? They actually are not straight. They're not at a 90-degree angle. They're offset, and that allows this to rotate. You see how that kind of a bent angle allows your hand to more naturally keep this lined up, which is, if you see one that's got nice clean bends, you know, where this is parallel to the shaft, those don't work near as well. But this is just silky smooth, absolutely wonderful tool. This one I wish had a little bit different design, so I could use about anything in it. But all these Kleins are still great. But anyway, on to this guy. I saw it on Amazon, and I thought, is that going to be useful or not? You know, that's kind of my curiosity with tools. It isn't very expensive, but it's probably overpriced. This is not a precision screwdriver by any stretch of the imagination, yet that's what it calls itself. And as I look at kind of the machining up here, I'm thinking, is this part of something else, or would this have some other feature I'm missing? As far as bit holding, yeah, these are mostly held in by a magnet. There is a magnet there, and it's not the strongest, but plenty to hold this thing. If you use one of the bits, it came with this rail of bits. Questionable quality, of course, but if you have the bits, pop one of these out that has this little indentations in it. These are just barely missing even on those. But anyway, then it does seem that there is some benefit maybe to the lock-in. But if you get one in there, whoops. It may get wedged in too tight to be able to pull out, in which case you're going to have to use pliers to kind of leverage the bit out. But anyway, as far as being able to spin something in, yeah, you can. It's not a real long handle, but if you were doing a lot of kind of base work where you're just lightly either tightening or removing screws, sure, yeah, you could use something like this, or to wedge it into a certain place, because it does have, you know, quite a bit of, I don't know, flexibility for getting into spots if you can then turn it. I imagine if you wanted, you could probably put a wrench on this or pliers to help turn it. And this is, you know, not the strongest thing in the world, but should be for screwing in a, you know, any small screw. If you put it on an extension like this, you know, that's actually got a little bit of a capability, if that's something you're looking for. Or I just found it a little bit handy to use a smaller bit. I can hold it here, or I can hold it down by the screw. I find this little added length makes it a little bit easier to work with. But of course you could also drop in, you know, a tiny one and then be able to screw something in. But I thought I'd bring that to your attention. I'm always looking for new takes on tools. Do I think this is a good one? No. But do I think they're onto something? Yes. It would be nice if a real tool company took over and played with this idea and figured out how to really make it work. I did try playing around with these torque screws here, or I'm sure they're star screws, non-copyrighted design. But anyway, one of them, I mean, some of them were pretty, this one was pretty loose. One of them was so tight, I thought I was going to ruin my Snap-on Eklund torque set there. But if there was some way to kind of gather up the good in this tool and put it into something better, I think it would be worth exploring. And then maybe you'd have something. The flexible small designs, you can't put a lot of torque on them. This one you can also hold in a position, and then be able to move the handle. Say if you had a small area, move it, come over to this side, finish it. You can see how that would, if it worked smoothly, be able to get you going. I don't know. Let me know what you think. It's kind of just an odd duck, but I'm sure somebody out there would have a use for it. That's why we're here. And with that, Doc out.